When it comes to self-help and a spiritual path in life, everyone is different. There is no set of rules that can be applied to anyone across the board because each person has their own individual set of circumstances that are specific for them. Personal self-help means finding out what your specific issues are that are different from other people's and then finding a way that you can fit these issues into a more common form of treatment that is convenient and readily available. Every alcoholic or drug addict that ever existed enters a treatment center or a 12-step meeting with the idea that, I am different from the people, and every one of them is right to some degree. Regardless of this truth, however, the same solutions often work for many different people and, even though your specific problems may be different, they can still be applied in similar ways to a solution that works. Personal self-help does take into account the differences that each person has, and yet it also takes those differences and helps to bring out the similarities that can be seen with countless other individuals that have felt the same way. For example, it really doesn't matter how many different drinks or how many drugs you have ever taken. As an addict and alcoholic, it is imperative that you get away from all drugs and alcohol and get away from the people who you previously used to drink or take drugs with. Personal self-help can also take into account your differences in terms of the manner in which your spiritual path can progress once you have first accepted the fact that you aren't entirely different from anyone else. You may follow a path which believes in a certain religion or a certain spiritual practice because of your own preferences, but this will only come after you have had the humility to admit that your problems aren't as unique as you would like to think. Some people pursue yogic practices or learn how to perform seated meditation. Others prefer to take up a career or start a business to fulfill their highest potential. Others besides these may throw themselves into their religion as a way of finding new meaning in their lives. It really doesn't matter which path you pursue once you recognize that basic health first comes by following certain principles of self-help that are true for everyone. One of the most basic and fundamental values that exists throughout all spiritual practices or any kind of endeavor which aims at success is that you cannot be a self-centered person and be successful. Even the most self-centered people who have struck it rich on television or movies have eventually found that they weren't truly happy without a meaningful relationship with other people in their lives. Self-centeredness breeds unhappiness, and it is therefore paramount, when you are first starting out on your self-help journey, to learn how to get outside of yourself and to open yourself up to the lives of others in some way, shape or form. The basic principles of self-help were first laid out by Dr. Sigmund Freud years ago when he recognized that the ego is at the center of all of our problems, and raising our consciousness is part and parcel to discovering a more healthy lifestyle. Dr. Freud and others who came after him, such as Dr. Carl Jung and Dr. David R. Hawkins, have paved the way for a brighter tomorrow. They have shown us what our personal path to self-help can look like if we are truly dedicated to healing ourselves and finding a better life. Personal self-help is something that everyone can now benefit from, and something that you should take advantage of yourself before it is too late.